Snacks Mills in the building.
I wasn't even thinking about me being on the show. I wanted to produce something for them.
Cool celebrity. Like if I went to the mall and stuff, people are like, oh.
The thing was, I didn't even know that anybody ever thought I was ugly.
We look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be
covering any more subjects related. So that's why you got the raw reaction. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Once again, y'all, we are back with another Tasha K versus Cardi B lawsuit update video. I thought that I owed it to my subscribers, my supporters, and all of those that follow this situation between Tasha K and Cardi B. I felt that I owed it to everyone to come, and bless you with the correct narrative, because I'm noticing that there are bloggers, there's other people, how they come behind Sweet Pea. Every time Sweet Pea gives an update, they come behind Sweet Pea trying to undo our momentum. You all know that Tasha K is behind all of it. She's whispering in these people's ear. She gets in their ear. And they feel like, I guess, some sort of loyalty, or like they're indebted to her to go and push the narrative that she's winning. She's going to somehow come back and work a miracle, and she's going to come out the victor. Well, listen, you guys, I get DMs and I get, messages all day, every day about Tasha K and her foolery, what she's out here doing, what she's out here spinning, the lies she's pushing, other people, the lies they're pushing on her behalf. And I get sent clips, I get sent information all day, every day. So I said, you know what? Let me let these people know what it is and why we're saying, and we know that Tasha K, there's nothing she can come back from. Okay, we have seen the summary judgment. We know that she lost that, but I don't think that people really understand what it is that she is still going to court for. So I'm going to take you through this entire fiasco. I'm going to show you the court documents. I'm going to show you where she started from with her and Cardi B, where she found herself, and where she is now as it pertains to the court documents. We're not going to go off of their thought process. We're not going off of their friendships and their allegiance that they feel towards Tasha K. We're not going through any of that. We are going through the court documents, and I'm going to show you what she's going to court for in November. And by the way, Tasha K's lawyers do not have anyone scared. I've seen the comments. I've seen these forever faithful winos, one in particular that's an old bat. I think she's so strung out over Tasha K and drunk off of Tasha K's, her videos and channels and her lies, that she really believes that Tasha going to work a miracle. Her and the bootleg, jackleg lawyers, they're going to work a miracle, and Tasha's going to come out on top. She's going to come out squeaky clean. She ain't going to owe Cardi B shit, and everything's going to be forgotten. It doesn't work like that. I keep telling y'all weirdos that are on YouTube that somehow think that YouTube is a court of law and that everyone that's in these damn comments, just because they say that they are lawyers and they work for legals and they're prepaid legal services and all this, they went to school, they got an MBA in criminal justice. They got an MBA in criminal justice law. They're private investigators. All this shit that these people claim to be on YouTube. I am here to clean up the streets and let you know, as it pertains to the court documents, where Tasha K is at and where she finds herself. It is not rocket science. The court documents lay it all out. If you follow the paper trail, date by date, happening by happening, Sweet Pea Diary video by Sweet Pea Diary video, it will all lead you to where we are now, period. So as we know, Cardi B sued Tasha K. She filed an initial complaint back in 2018. Here is that complaint. Because see, I'm going to take you through by the paperwork. We are not going to go off of people's personal opinions and how they are breaking it down. No. We are going to go off of the documents, okay? That's how we're going to figure out where Tasha K went and where she finds herself at now, right? So I'm going to pull up the initial complaint and the nature of this case. All right, that was filed back in March of 2019. March 21st, 2019. Right? Let me get it. All right, I have a lot of, just bear with me because I have a lot of documents that are open and it's going to take, they all look the same. They're all titled the same. So just give me a moment. I keep pushing that one. I don't know why it just keeps showing me that one. But like I said, I got them. So just bear with me. Because I get tired of people, wanting to push a narrative and peddle a narrative for people, but they have no access to the court documents. They are going off of their like and their loyalty for Tasha K. No, we're going to go by the court records. Okay, we're going to go by the court documents. That's the second amended complaint. It's so many of them. Oh, gosh. It's so many. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. All right. Here it is. All right. So this is the initial complaint. And this is 32 pages. All right. This sums up the case and what Tasha K is being sued for, what the initial complaint is, and what she is going to a jury trial for. This is what will be heard at the jury trial. Okay? This is not the summary judgment. This is the complaint itself. Okay? This is the argument that Cardi B is making to the court as it pertains to Tasha K. All right? Let's read. Complaint and demand for jury trial. Cardi B for her complaint against Latasha Transrena Kibi, a.k.a. Latasha Transrena Howard, and Star Marie Ebony Jones. They allege as follows, Cardi B, okay? She alleges as follows. The nature of the case. This is a diversity action asserting Georgia state law claims for slander per se, slander, libel per se, defamation, and invasion of privacy. False light as a result of defendant's publication of slanderous and defamatory statements regarding plaintiff that are false, harmful, and offensive to the plaintiff. Okay? So then it has different paragraphs. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 is the parties, Tasha K and Cardi B and their addresses. And Star Marie Jones at first, before she was let go. Paragraph 5 is the jurisdiction and venue. The court has jurisdiction over the subject matter of this action pursuant to law, blah, 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 as this is an action between plaintiff, who is a citizen of the state of New York, and defendants Kebe and Jones, who upon information and belief are citizens of the state of Georgia. And the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000. Okay? That's where everyone is getting the $75,000 that Tasha K is going to at least have to pay Cardi B. That's why it says it is in controversy and it exceeds $75,000. So it's going to be at least $75,000 that Tasha is being held accountable for. But we're going to get into how the fact that LaTasha Transrena Kebe has no more legs to stand on. Everything has been, as it pertains to her, has been thrown out. So everyone's saying that Cardi B's team is scared and that's why they pushed off the court date. That is incorrect. They have nothing to be scared of because they have nothing to, there's nothing that is going to be heard as it pertains to LaTasha Transrena Kebe. All of her complaints, counterclaims, all of that has been thrown out. So there's nothing for Cardi B and her team to be afraid of. Cardi B is pregnant. So the argument that, Cardi B can attend the Zoom, she can attend court through Zoom. Why would she attend court through Zoom when this case means nothing to her? Cardi B doesn't give a damn about this $75K or however much is going to have to be paid. All she wanted was to prove that LaTasha Transrena Kebe was wrong for slandering her, was wrong for putting out false information. She wants those videos taken down. And she had a point to prove that you as a blogger do not have the right to slander, defame, and put up videos about me that are not true. That is all that Cardi B wanted to show the world, that you are not going to slander my name. You are not going to make videos about me. Exactly. It is the principle. You are not going to be out here thinking that just because you have a social media YouTube platform and you are trying to become some famous blogger, you're not going to use my name, my image, my likeness, and you're not going to push narratives on me to blow up, because we all know that's what Tasha K did. So that is why Cardi is not attending no Zoom trial or asking, can she attend through Zoom? Because she is pregnant and she is thinking about her child, her newborn baby, bringing a life into the world. Why would she want to get on some damn Zoom and go to court for Tasha to have it over with? To have it over with because Tasha wants to get it over with. Well, when the judge encouraged you to settle out of court back in 2019, early 2020, when he encouraged you to settle out of court, and we have the transcripts where the judge encourages to settle out of court, you didn't want to settle. You did not want to take the judge's advice. If you go and listen to the audio, the court audio that was leaked, the judge is not pushing this to a jury trial because there's some magic that Tasha is going to whip out. No, it was because there were two arguments that could be made. And he said, well, we can push it to a jury trial. If that's what you want, I'll give it to you, in a last ditch effort to try to help Tasha K with some of the counts, because everything that she put forth has been denied. It's been denied. It's been thrown out. There's nothing. So all it would do is weaken the amount that Tasha is going to have to pay when she goes through this jury trial in November. It is to show, is that Cardi B putting the beer bottle up her private? Could a reasonable jury ascertain that Tasha may have thought that that was Cardi B? And at that time, when she saw that video, did she know that it wasn't and it was a lie? She knew it was a lie, but she put it out anyway. These are the arguments that Tasha's defense team made to the judge. And he said, well, I guess that if that's what you want a jury to decide, if you go back and listen to the audio, the judge said, how are you going to get these videos entered? How are you going to get your evidence entered in as evidence? So the judge is just trying to give Tasha her last ditch effort that she is trying to make in an attempt to not have to pay Cardi B so much. This doesn't have anything to do with Tasha winning. She has already lost on a couple of the counts. Her counterclaim has already been thrown out. Her counterclaim has already been thrown out. Excuse me, can you hold on one moment, please? I'm sorry, I had a call that I had to answer. But her counterclaims have already been thrown out. So we're going to go through the briefs that have been submitted, the answers that Tasha has already submitted in her interrogatories, and I'm going to show you that there's nothing left. There's nothing left for her to fight. So all of these other bloggers that are trying to pick apart the summary judgment and say that, oh, the judge, he sees something in this for Tasha and he knows that Tasha can come back and win, or whatever the fuck they're trying to, I don't know what it is that they're trying to say. But none of that is true. That storyline is not true. That narrative is not true. There is nothing left for Tasha K, right? So this is the actual complaint, all right? Factual background. Plaintiff is a Grammy award-winning musical artist, songwriter, and television personality, professionally known as Cardi B. Since the release of her full-length debut mixtape in 2015, plaintiff's musical works have reached peak positions on the charts in the United States and around the world. Number 11, plaintiff is also a mother of a young baby girl. And then it just goes on and on and on to describe Cardi B, to describe the belief of what Tasha K and Star Marine Jones, what they thought that they knew about Cardi B and what the basis of Cardi's slander, defamation, and liable per se her claims are. So we know that it gives all the breakdowns of the videos that Tasha just went in on Cardi B, her and Star Marie. And that's basically what this motion and this complaint outlines, okay? So count one, slander per se against the defendants. At that time was Tasha K and Star Marie. Plaintiff repeats and alleges by reference the allegations in paragraphs 1 through 67. The fact that you have 67 allegations against somebody because they made videos about you, it speaks for itself. Okay? Upon information and belief, Kibi published the 9/2 video on or around September 2nd, 2018. Upon information and belief, Jones published the Jones video in or around September 13th, 2018. Upon information and belief, Kibi published the 9/19 video on or around September 19th, 2018. And it just goes on and on. Then it says, upon information and belief, as set forth above, the 9/2 video and 9/19 videos published by Kibi contain multiple false and defamatory statements about the plaintiff, including that the plaintiff was a prostitute and a user of cocaine and Molly, that the plaintiff had and still has herpes, and that the plaintiff has had herpes outbreaks on her mouth. Upon information and belief, as set forth above, the Jones video published by Jones contains multiple false and defamatory statements about the plaintiff, including that the plaintiff was a prostitute and a user of cocaine and Molly, and that the plaintiff has herpes. None of the aforementioned statements about the plaintiff in the Jones video are true. Upon information and belief, defendants knew these statements to be false at the time they published them, or the defendants were subjectively aware of the probable falsity of the aforementioned statements at the time they respectively published them. Upon information and belief, by way of example, a second YouTube channel operated by Kibi posted a video that acknowledges she was aware prior to her publishing the 9/19 video that the defamatory statements made by Jones may not have been true. Upon information and belief, Kibi further acknowledged that she published the 9/19 video a day earlier than she had planned to because information undermining Jones's credibility was or was about to be published, and Kibi wanted the 9/19 video to have an opportunity to trend, i.e., gain viewership, before people saw the information that would debunk Jones' statements. Nevertheless, upon information and belief, after receiving a cease and desist letter demanding she take down the defamatory statements about the plaintiff, Kibi published another video on September 21st, 2018 that referred to the 9/19 video and the Jones video and falsely stated that everything we said and everything that Jones said was accurate, and that Kibi was the source. Upon information and belief, neither Jones nor Kibi made reasonable attempts to verify the false and defamatory statements that were made about the plaintiff before the 9/2 video, the Jones video, the 9/19 video, or the 9/21 video were published. Upon information and belief, Jones knew the statements made in the Jones video and the 9/19 video were false, or Jones acted with reckless disregard of whether they were true or not. Upon information and belief, Kibi knew the statements made in the defamatory videos were false, or Kibi acted with reckless disregard of whether they were true or not. So this just goes on and on saying the same thing about, whether or not they knew that they were true, blah, 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 blah. So then when we get down to paragraph 83, upon information and belief, the defendant's false stories were generated and communicated with actual malice, total disregard for the truth, and in complete absence of any special privilege. So this is what will be left up to the jury, whether or not Tasha K acted out of malice, whether or not she knew that she was lying and that the statements were not true when she made these videos. By a show of hands, thumbs up. I know we've been reading a lot of paperwork. Please let me know if you are following along and you understand what it is I am saying and where we are at this moment in this video. If you need anything else explained or if you need anything to be understood, I will go over where we have been already. If not, we can continue to move on. By a show of hands, let me know if you're good. All right. So now then comes after. So now once a person, they submit a complaint to the court, the defendant has a right and they must submit their answers to these complaints. And so here was Tasha's answers to these complaints. All right. All right. Oh no, that's not the right one. Let's see. All right. No, that was the second. We're gonna save those. It's not those ones. We want the first answers, not her answers to the amended complaint, child. Her answers to the first complaint. Because, I need these people to take your personal, you want to be loyal to Tasha K, or you want to, somehow prove that you stand for Tasha K so that she can mentor you or whatever it is that you think you're going to get out of it. I need people to take that element out of this and just report the truth. Just report the truth. You can't lie about the court documents. Like, the documents tell the truth. If I can get to it. All right. Oh, Lord. And see, the reason why it's hard for me to find them, go right to it, is because they all are indexed with the same title. See, they all are indexed with the same one. And I know specifically by the heading which one is which. Oh, goodness. And they're not in any particular order. So just bear with me, guys. And then it looks like they just playing tricks on me because I'm not asking for that document and it keeps giving me that same one. All right, we're going to go like this. That's the second amended complaint. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. That was the third. To go down to this one. No, that's not it. I think this is it. Yes. All right. So then here is Tasha's answers to the first defense, to the complaint. Okay. Comes now Latasha Keeby through undersigned counsel and hereby files her answer and affirmative defense to plaintiff's first amended complaint. And she also, at this time, submitted a counterclaim. All right. So she's stating that plaintiff's amended complaint fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, and therefore the same should be dismissed. Plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of slander per se under Georgia law, and therefore it should be dismissed. Third defense, plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of slander under Georgia law, and therefore the same should be dismissed. Fourth defense, plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of libel per se, and therefore the claim should be dismissed. Plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of defamation under Georgia law, and therefore the same should be dismissed. Sixth defense, plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of invasion of privacy, false light under Georgia law, and therefore the same should be dismissed. Seventh defense, plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead each essential element for a viable claim of intentional infliction of emotional distress under Georgia law, and therefore the same should be dismissed. Do you guys see the pattern here in Tasha K's defense? She is stating that everything that Cardi B is suing her for, it should be dismissed. Libel, invasion of privacy, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, slander, all of these things, every count should be dismissed. This is Tasha's argument, okay? So this is what was presented as Tasha's counterclaim. But what do we know about Tasha's counterclaim? That it was what? Thrown out. So there is nothing that she has that she's fighting for, okay? So let's just keep digging and going further into this lawsuit, because everyone is saying, well, the judge pushed it to a jury trial for some reason. The only reason it went to a jury trial is because there were 2 counts. I'll show you with the summary judgment that the judge felt might be able to be argued with a jury, that it wasn't quite cut and dry, but it's still against Tasha K. It is still not in favor of Cardi B. All right? So let's just keep on reading. So all of her defenses should be dismissed, okay? Ninth defense, plaintiff's amended complaint fails to plead with particularly her entitlement to punitive damages, and therefore plaintiff is not entitled to and should be prohibited from recovering punitive damages. Also in the eighth defense, Tasha said that Cardi B, her attorney's fees should not be prohibited. She shouldn't be entitled to, and she should be prohibited from recovering attorney's fees. Well, we both know that that is not what the judge agreed. he agreed in the summary judgment that Cardi B is absolutely going to be able to recover punitive damages and attorney fees. It's going to be left up to the jury based off of, do they find whether Tasha K acted in malice when she posted those videos? Did she know that they were false when she posted them? The information, did she know that it was false and she published it anyway? That is what the jury is going to determine. And how they're going to determine that, just like the judge said at the last hearing, if you go listen to the audio, how do you propose that the jury is supposed to make that decision? Based off of what evidence? What evidence are you going to be able to put forth to the jury that they're going to be able to determine whether that was Cardi B putting a beer bottle up her private, whether or not Tasha K was a liar, did she act out of malice? They're going to look at all those videos with Tasha ranting and raving. They're going to look at the interrogatories where we just read that Tasha admitted that she knew the information was false, but she made the video anyway because she wanted to trend, because she wanted to get ahead of the story before it was uncovered that it could be false. So she wanted to get ahead of it so that she could get an opportunity to trend and build up her numbers. It's all in the documents. It's all in the court documents. We just read it. So let's continue on. 10th defense. Plaintiff's claim for injunctive relief is not proper before this court. Furthermore, the plaintiff's amended complaint fails to demonstrate the necessity for injunctive relief as required by Georgia law. Therefore, all foregoing reasons, plaintiff's claim for injunctive relief should be dismissed. Well, we know it was not dismissed. 11th defense. The truth of the charge may always be proved in justification of an alleged libel or slander. So she's saying that this is alleged. We didn't really do it. It's just alleged. The statements giving rise to this action as alleged in plaintiff's amended complaint are privileged communications because plaintiff is a public figure. Ms. Keeby incorporates all affirmative defensive pending further investigation and discovery. Without waiving any of the foregoing defenses, Ms. Keeby answers the specific allegations of the plaintiff's amended complaint as follows. Now, this we start getting into the nature of the case as it pertains to the paragraphs in the complaint that I just read to you guys in the beginning. Here are Tasha's responses to those paragraphs. Paragraph 1, we read, it was just the legal jargon, and that's what it says here. Paragraph 2 was the parties. Ms. Keeby lacks knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief about the truth of the allegations contained in paragraph 2, and therefore these allegations are denied as alleged. Girl, why would you deny that you're Tasha K and she's Star Marie and that's Cardi B? Girl, stop. Number 3, Ms. Keeby admits the allegations contained in paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 was that Cardi B was a public figure. So as you can see, these are all of the answers to Cardi B's complaint. These are Tasha's answers to that. She's saying that in paragraph number 9, she says she admits the allegations contained in paragraph number 9. Well, you go back over to paragraph number 9, and what was that? So that's how you cross-reference what's being said and what was happening with this case at that time. They were going back and forth. Tasha had her answers. Cardi B alleged her answers. But as we all know, as you scroll on down and you get to Tasha's counterclaim, that was thrown out. right? That was thrown out. So where does Tasha have some type of magical, she's going to come back and win? Win what? There's nothing to win. Because this part in the complaint is now, here comes defendant Tasha K. She files her amended counterclaims for slander, assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress against Cardi B, and demand for jury trial, and shows this honorable court as follows. Now, this is her court counterclaim, all right? So what we're about to get into now is what the bloggers are trying to report to you, that all of a sudden Tasha's going to be able to win. What is she going to win? This has already been thrown out. This has already been dismissed. So there's nothing left for Tasha K to fight. This has been thrown out. But we'll get to that in the summary judgment. In the summary judgment, the judge threw and dismissed Tasha's counterclaim. What we're about to read right now is that counterclaim. Miss Kiwi is an entertainment and celebrity news blogger. Miss Kiwi's brand is Unwind with Tasha K. Miss Kiwi promotes her brand on various social media platforms, which she maintains. Miss Kiwi also maintains a website, www.unwindwithtasha.com. Miss Kiwi's brand generates revenue via third-party advertisements. Miss Kiwi is the owner, producer, and host of a YouTube channel, Unwind with Tasha K. And at that time, it had 612,453 subscribers. Miss Kiwi operates a Twitter account, Unwind with Tasha, which has 10,500 followers. Miss Kiwi operates a Facebook account, Tasha K, which has 40,495 followers and 33,686 likes. Upon information and belief, Cardi B is an international celebrity. 202, paragraph 202, child. Upon information and belief, Cardi B is also a big time blood. Now, here is where we start getting into whether or not Cardi B and the Bloods have assaulted Tasha. Give me one moment. Give me 1 second, guys. Royal Creations Customized by Win is your one-stop shop for all your customized needs. She specializes in t-shirts, hoodies, gift baskets, tumblers, anything that you want customized. Royal Creations Customized by Win can get the job done. Be sure to follow her on Instagram and Facebook at RCC by Win. If you want to send her an email, you can contact her at rccbywin@gmail.com. She even has a YouTube channel, All Things Creative. Go on over there on YouTube, All Things Creative. Share her videos, subscribe to her channel. Royal Creations by Lynn is your queen of customizing. All right, guys, I had a call I had to take really quickly, so I just let you go to All Things Creative 2 on Instagram and, check her page out. She has a lot of gift baskets and gift ideas. They're made customizable to whatever your heart's desired. And I mean, her products are very nice. They're very well crafted and, should I say durable and sturdy, like they're not cheap, so yeah, head on over there to All Things Creative 2 on Instagram and check her out. So yeah, so this is where you get into the part of this counterclaim where she's starting to talk about, the Bloods are notorious, they're a violent street gang. Cardi B was initiated by her friend Schemo when she was 16 years old. Upon information and belief, Cardi B has a YouTube channel, Cardi, which has 10,989,168 subscribers. Upon information and belief, Cardi B operates a Twitter account, I Am Cardi B, which has 6.2 million followers. Upon information and belief, Cardi B operates a Facebook account, which has 6.8 million followers, and an Instagram with 46.8 million followers. On September 19, 2018, Miss Kibi published on her YouTube channel a video of an interview she conducted with Stormy Jones. Upon information and belief, shortly after the interview with Miss Jones was published, Cardi B reached out to Miss Kibi via private messages to discuss the content of that interview. Miss Kibi informed Cardi B that she was not interested in a private conversation and told Cardi B to tell her the truth during a public interview, just like Miss Jones. Upon information and belief, despite proclamations that Miss Jones was lying, Cardi B declined to be interviewed by Miss Kibi. Instead, Cardi B published numerous Instagram live videos claiming she does not know Miss Jones. Upon information and belief, in her Instagram live videos, Cardi B began to publicly defame Miss Kibi, referring to her as this blogger lady, stating that Miss Kibi makes up fake stories, harasses all of Cardi B's friends, constantly stalks Cardi B, falsely claims that she has legitimate sources giving her information about Cardi B, uses Cardi B's name for clickbait, and many other lies. Upon information and belief, Cardi B published those lies about Miss Kibi to millions of people via her social media accounts. Upon information and belief, in December 2018, Cardi B published a video on her Instagram account in which she referred to Miss Kibi as a dumbass bitch and hoe numerous times, discussed how all the YouTube bloggers talk about Cardi B, and threatened to retaliate with litigation, not because Cardi B was being defamed, but because people were talking shit about her friends and she was sick of it. Right after proclaiming that she was initiated into a gang at the age of 16, Cardi B threatened to bankrupt Miss Kibi by stating, "All right then, bitch, I'm going to take all your fucking bread." So what Cardi B was basically saying to Tasha in this exchange, I am not coming on your YouTube channel to express or explain myself to you or any of your subscribers. Who do you think you are to tell me to come on and demand and command me to come on your platform and tell my truth? What truth? You and Star Marie started these rumors. Y'all started these accusations. Cardi B was doing her thing. Cardi B was being Cardi B. She was busy making hits, busy traveling the world, busy making an album, busy having a baby, busy being married, busy living her life, while Tasha K was struggling to go viral and wanting to use Cardi B to do it. Cardi B asked you politely, behind the scenes to take the videos down. She then sent you a cease and desist that you then ignored and continued to make videos of. We are reading Tasha K's defense. This is Tasha K's defense. This is her counterclaim. This is what she went to court with. It's pathetic. No wonder why it was thrown out. It is no merit. There's no merit. It's baseless. There are no facts backing up this counterclaim. It's all hearsay. Tasha's counterclaim is hearsay. Miss Kibi, in fear for her safety and well-being, contacted the FBI. And matter of fact, we all know that the FBI told her, if you were afraid, then move. After discussing her situation, Miss Kibi was advised that it would be in her best interest to find a new place to live, which is exactly what she did. That is a play of words. That is a twist of the truth. The FBI told Tasha K, if you feel threatened or if you feel unsafe, to move. They did not imply if there are gang members after you, Cardi B and the gang members are after you, so you need to move. That is not what the FBI said. The FBI said anything that anyone in their reasonable, rational mind would say to a human being that is stating that they're scared. Well, if you're scared, move. If you feel like you're being threatened, move. But what did Tasha K say in the Jesse Wu interview? Everybody has my address. Everybody know where I live in Lawrenceville. And ain't a motherfucker came to see me yet. Shit. From where I grow up at, a motherfucker don't tell you they coming. They just come. But you're scared? You're scared of gang members? You're scared of people threatening you? You had to move? Not tough Tasha K. Not bout it, Tasha K. Everybody knows my address, where we live in Lawrenceville. And ain't a motherfucker came to me yet. But you just said that you had to move because you felt threatened. Which one is it? Miss Kibi was in her first trimester of a high-risk pregnancy when the threats initiated by Cardi B began. As a result of Cardi B's defamatory statements, Miss Kibi's Instagram was deleted several times. Miss Kibi lost thousands of subscribers and followers on her social media platforms. Miss Kibi lost several third-party advertisers. Doesn't look like to me you lost Pangea or any of your advertisers. You're still with Pangea. You do the funky coochie commercial every set, every video. I mean, the lies, must we continue to read them? As a direct result of Cardi B and her fellow gang members, Miss Kibi experienced severe stress and anxiety for her safety, as well as the safety of her family. Miss Kibi was placed on mandatory bed rest by her physician. Miss Kibi incurred unnecessary and unexpected moving expenses. Miss Kibi was unable to work for several weeks, which resulted in loss of income. And Miss Kibi suffered many other financial and emotional harms. As a direct result of Cardi B's conduct and actions, Miss Kibi, who has been pregnant throughout this entire ordeal, has experienced severe emotional distress, anxiety, panic, stress, high blood pressure, insomnia, humiliation, and depression. But oh, now that Cardi B is pregnant, she's supposed to endure all of these things that you as a pregnant mother endured. So she should just attend a Zoom court hearing so that you can get this court date over with and you can get this trial over with. If I was Cardi B, I would push out as long as I can as well. I would push the date out as far as I can as well so that I can enjoy the birth of my baby. I can enjoy breastfeeding. I can enjoy it. Tasha K is not in a rush for what? This assault that we just read, all of those accusations about the gang members and the moving, that assault charge was thrown out. It was thrown out. This assault, paragraphs 1 through 227 are incorporated herein in count 2. Cardi B intended to commit a violent injury to Miss Kibi when she encouraged fellow gang members to handle Miss Kibi. Cardi B had the apparent ability to commit the violent injury, given her abundant financial resources and apparent gang affiliation. And Miss Kibi believed that her safety and well-being was at risk as a direct and proximate result of Cardi B's conduct and actions. Miss Kibi suffered physical and mental harm and damages in an amount to be proven at trial. As a direct, and we're going to read that again, as a direct and proximate result of Cardi B's conduct and actions, Miss Kibi suffered physical and mental harm and damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Well, that's not going to be proven at trial because that was thrown out. It was dismissed. Cardi B acted with the specific intent to cause harm to Miss Kibi because Cardi B's actions showed willful misconduct, malice, wantonness, oppression, and exhibited a conscious indifference to consequences. Miss Kibi is entitled to an award of punitive damages in the amount of at least $3 million. Well, we know that was thrown out. So there is nothing left. What is left? Oh, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Count 3, could that be left? Punitive damages. Expenses of litigation and attorney's fees. Demand for a jury trial. Oh, yes, there will be a jury trial, but all the rest of this, expensive, punitive damages, intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault, the $3 million assault counterclaim, it was dismissed. So, what is going to be fought by the defense? What is going to be argued by the defense? So when they were going back and forth and this side was submitting their arguments and this side was submitting their arguments, the judge, they had a hearing because each side wanted to file a motion to dismiss this entire case because, you know, each side had their reasons. Well, guess what the judge said? We have transcripts that shows that the judge encouraged them to settle out of court. The judge encouraged Tasha K to settle out of court. But what did they say? Oh, where did he encourage that at? We've never heard that. Okay, well, allow me to show you the transcript. Because I don't play with the girls. I come with the receipts. I don't play with the girls. So the motions to, oh, that's not the one that we're going to get. Oh, we're going to get into that one. That one's a doozy right there. Oop. We're going to get into that one. Oh. Okay. So this, oh, no. Nope. They both look the same. Come on. That's not it. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. No, that's the summary judgment. Okay. That's what I hate about these. They all look the same. They all look the same, guys, these documents. Give me a minute. All right, here we go. So they were before the judge in October of 2019. They had a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. Plaintiffs' counsel argued their motion to dismiss defendants' counterclaims. Defense presented their argument and asked that alternatively, they be allowed to amend their counterclaims to be more specific. The court will not dismiss the counterclaims and encourages settlement discussions. The court stated if questions arise as to deposition locations, it should be in Atlanta. The parties are directed to diligently pursue discovery. Now, this was right before the discovery hearings were taking place. Right before they started showing the discovery. The judge encouraged them to settle out of court. He said, I'm not going to dismiss the counterclaims. However, I encourage settlement discussions because he knew what was at stake. So as they went farther down into this case, now Tasha K is continuing to make videos about Cardi B. In early 2020, late into 2020, Cardi B starts to see that Tasha K is still making videos about her. So what does she do? She amends her counterclaim. She amends her counterclaim. Okay? She amends her complaint. And she adds more videos. So let me show you that. Because like I said, I'm taking you guys through this piece by piece, motion by motion, so that you can see there is nothing left for Tasha K to fight. When she goes before this jury, it is for determining how much she is going to have to pay Cardi B. It is to determine whether or not she acted out of malice and she knew that she was lying when she posted those videos. We already see through the court transcripts that she's already admitted to that she knew the story was fake, but she wanted to get ahead of it for clicks and views. There's nothing left for her to fight. Her counterclaim was thrown out. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand, Tasha K did not sue Cardi B. Cardi B sued Tasha K. So Tasha K is not the plaintiff. The burden of proof is on Tasha K. She is the defendant. She's got to prove that she did not do what she's being accused of. So there is nothing for her to win. She is not going to come out of this a victor. She's going to have to take the videos down. She's going to have to pay Cardi B at least $75,000 or more. If they determine the worst that could happen, I'm going to tell you this, okay? The worst that could happen is that they say that the jury would say, okay, maybe she did get that confused and she thought that this is hypothetically speaking. We know that this is not going to happen, but I'm just telling you, this is what the jury is being tasked with. Okay, maybe she did think that was Cardi B. Does it look like Cardi B? Could a reasonable person look at that video and think it was Cardi B? If they agree with that and they say, yes, maybe that's what she thought, she would win nothing. It would be, okay, she thought that. She made that statement because she thought that was Cardi B. But what would she win? Nothing. She would not win nothing. It would just be that there would be no money for that charge or accusation. Then we go to the herpes and the herpes and the cold sores and all of that. Then we go to that. When Tasha K made that statement, was it a lie? I'm sorry, that's what I meant. The burden of proof is on Cardi. What I'm saying is Tasha K has to prove that, yes, that's what I meant. Tasha K has to prove that she didn't make these statements out of malice, that she did not lie on purpose. So she's not the plaintiff. She's the defendant. She has to put forth a defense. She has to convince a jury that she did not act out of malice, that she did not lie on purpose. Like, oh yeah, I knew that it was a bunch of shit and I put it up anyway. She already admitted to that in the deposition. We read it. Okay. So there is nothing that Tasha is going to win. There's nothing to win. She's already been deemed as not getting $3 million. Her counterclaim for $3 million was tossed out. So there is nothing to win. Nothing. So all of this is us saying, well, this is what they're going to do. This may be what, there is no maybe, there is no speculating. I am telling you, this is what it is based off of the court documents. We have followed the paper trail. So in December, when the complaint was amended, Cardi B also added KB Studios to the complaint. Remember that? Second amended complaint. Cardi B, she dropped Star Marie and she added KB Studios. So that's what this second amended complaint consists of. The court has jurisdiction over the subject matter of this action. This is an action between citizens of different states, and the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000. This is the amount that Cardi B at least wants. It is at least $75,000 or more. It says in controversy exceeds $75,000. Upon information and belief, KB is subject to personal jurisdiction in Georgia, and now it just goes blah, 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 blah. Gives you the factual background, blah, blah, blah. And it's basically a carbon copy of the initial complaint. But then when you get all the way down to the end, you start to see what additional was added. In September 2020, September 21, Kibi published a video on YouTube entitled Cardi Baby Girl, I mean Baby Bird. And then it just goes on and on, even in September 18th, 20. Video contains the following false and defamatory statements: that the plaintiff was a prostitute, that the plaintiff has HPV, that the plaintiff committed infidelity. So the videos in 2020 now started to be added. And then we'll remember when Tasha posted the fake story of Offset on Instagram with the fake girl that he was supposedly cheating on, and she started trolling Cardi B on Instagram. And then what did she say? She said, I knew the shit was fake. I knew they was fake. I told Kyle I'm going to put the bull out anyway. I knew it was fake. I still made that go mother viral, okay? If you continue to send me fake stories on you, I'm going to air them as they are, ho. So keep sending me the lies, and I'm going to keep putting them the F out B. So what she was basically stating, and what her defense has been to the judge, who also said, really, are you kidding me? She is basically saying that Cardi B has made up a fake profile. She sends the fake stories to Tasha K because she wants Tasha to publish the stories, and she can then, Cardi B can then run back and say that Tasha K publishes fake stories. So what did the judge say during that infamous leaked audio? So that was enough for your client? He asked Olga, Tasha K's defense attorney. So that was enough for your client? The information she got from Jones, the Jones video, the information that Jones told her, and then these fake DMs that were coming from a fake troll account. That was enough for your client to run with that and make videos. So this is why I keep saying to people, follow the paperwork, follow the documents. If you claim you have these documents and you claim you are reading and following along, why is it that you have not seen any of this? Why is it that you have not posted any of this? February 28th, 2019, they sent a demand for retraction to Tasha K. They again sent another one, October 2nd, 2020, demanding retraction and repudiation to Kibi, demanding that she take down the videos and retract the defamatory statements. Despite written demands for repudiation and the passing of at least 7 days in each instance, Kibi has, as of date, not taken the videos down or retracted the statements. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Tasha K knew exactly. She knew exactly what she was doing when she published these videos. She wanted to go viral at any cost. And because Cardi B would not come on her channel and give her an interview, she began to troll Cardi B and defame her name, defame her character, humiliate her, talk about her daughter, talk about her husband, say that she's committed adultery, that she has herpes and HPV, that she put a beer bottle up her private, that she was a prostitute. All of these statements are not true. Cardi B has proven in her deposition in the answers to her interrogatories that all of this is not true. Cardi B has also taken a test at UCLA, which was negative, that showed that she does not have herpes or HPV. That is also in the court documents. So there is nothing left for Tasha K to argue. But if this is not enough for you, I shall continue. Shall I continue? Shall I continue to show you more of these documents? Okay, and like I said, it's a lot. I try to keep you, I try to keep you entertained. I try to keep you engaged. But reading court documents and explaining them, it's a lot. So now, after Cardi B had the complaint amended, here comes Tasha K asking for it to be dismissed, asking that they dismiss the amended counterclaim and that Cardi B should not be allowed to add Kiwi Studios. Okay? Right? Tasha K wanted the judge to dismiss adding Kiwi Studios and dismiss that second amended complaint. Well, the judge came back and the judge said, absolutely not. Cardi B has every right to add Kiwi Studios. But let's read Tasha's defense as to why Kiwi Studios should not be allowed to be added. Okay. All right, that's the summary judgment. That's the nail in the coffin, that summary judgment, y'all. All right, so here is Tasha's argument. Comes now, Latasha Kibi, through her counsel, respectively moves that the court dismiss Kiwi Studios LLC as an impermissibly added co-defendant in the foregoing civil action. In support of this motion, Ms. Kibi shows the court the following. Relevant facts and procedural history. On March 21st, 2019, the plaintiff filed a complaint in this action naming Kibi and Star Marie Jones as the only defendants. Interested persons and corporate disclosure statement, which listed plaintiff Ms. Kibi and Jones as the only interested parties. So she's saying that in the beginning, there was no mention of no Kiwi Studios. It was only Tasha, Star Marie, and Cardi B. The parties filed a joint preliminary report and discovery plan, as well as the respectful initial disclosures on August 26, 2019, and none of those documents listed Kiwi Studios as a necessary or interested party. So Tasha's saying, as we got into this case and we went farther down into filling out paperwork and disclosures, still by August 26th of 2019, Cardi B and her team still had not added Kiwi Studios. So why now? Why would you just come out of nowhere in December of 2020 and want to add Kiwi Studios? Well, probably because you attempted to rebrand. And Cardi B and her lawyers saw that attempt to rebrand on YouTube when you changed your entire formatting of your name. You went from Unwind with Tasha K in lowercase to Unwind with Tasha K in all capitals, in the attempt to rebrand and trying to separate yourself from Unwind with Tasha K or Kiwi Studios, or trying to remove yourself and place the blame. Oh, well, KB Studios doesn't have anything to do with Tasha K. And how do we know that? Because if you read through this, that's exactly what she says. Okay? She says, on October 16, 2020, the party's latest joint motion for extension of deadlines was filed. And in that motion, Ms. Kebe provided consent for the plaintiff to file a second amended complaint, exclusively to include additional and only recently discovered alleged defamatory statements that Kebe had made about the plaintiff during the pendency of this action. Ms. Kebe consented because the additional statements are very similar to the current complaint, and thus it would be inefficient to require them to be in a new lawsuit. So there was absolutely no mention of adding new co-defendants. So what Tasha's saying here in this paragraph, they allow Cardi B to amend the second, her complaint and add on the additional videos that Tasha K continued to do in 2020, but at no time did they mention that they were going to add a defendant, another co-defendant. They didn't say that they were going to drop Star Marie. They didn't say that they were going to add KB Studios. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but when was it ever said that a plaintiff and their attorneys are required to let you know their game plan, and they're required to let you know what they plan on adding and what they plan on doing? That's a major play in this case. That was a major move on behalf of Cardi B and her lawyers to add KB Studios. Why would they let you know that that is what their intention was? On November 29, 2020, the last day of the discovery period, plaintiff filed her second amended complaint and without consent or permission, added KB Studios, LLC as a new defendant and removed Star Jones as an existing co-defendant. In the second amended complaint, the plaintiff stated that KB Studios, LLC was formed on April 14, 2018. Ms. Kebe never provided consent for plaintiff to add KB Studios, LLC as a new co-defendant or to remove Jones as an existing co-defendant. In fact, plaintiff has never even mentioned her intention to amend the parties in this civil action. Plaintiff did not seek leave from this court to amend her complaint to remove a current co-defendant or to add a new co-defendant. Additionally, plaintiff never filed any motion requesting that this court add or drop a party. So then, they go into legal cases that they want to reference as to why their argument can be substantiated by using other legal cases. And we all know that that's what they do in all court cases. So the argument is that on November 29, 2020, Cardi B, for the first time since the inception of this litigation, added KB Studios, LLC as a new co-defendant and removed Jones as an existing co-defendant. However, plaintiff's time to amend, as a matter of course, had expired. Therefore, the plaintiff's only lawful means to achieve such amendment were to obtain consent from Ms. Kebe or to request permission from this court. Plaintiff did neither. Because plaintiff could not be bothered to ask for consent from Ms. Kebe or to seek permission from this court, KB Studios, LLC should automatically be dismissed as a co-defendant in this legal action. Even if the plaintiff did file a motion to add KB Studios as a new defendant, this court, upon reviewing the facts and relevant law, would have denied plaintiff's motion. That's not true because the court ended up allowing it. KB Studios, LLC was formed on April 14, 2018, nearly a year before plaintiff initiated this civil action on March 2019. Plaintiff's first amended complaint naming Ms. Kebe and Jones as the only defendants was filed on June 12, 2019. It wasn't until 1 year and 8 months later she initiated this civil action and the plaintiff added her second complaint naming Kebe Studios. Now, I'm not going to just keep going in circles. As we all know, Latasha Transrena Kebe, her lawyers, as you can see here, love to continue to mention the same things over and over and over in different paragraphs. That is all this is them going over and over until they get down to finally saying what it is that they believe why Kebe Studios should not be added. After 8 pages in, they finally, even if plaintiff followed the law and requested permission from this court to add Kebe Studios LLC as a new co-defendant, plaintiff's motion would have been denied for all of the above described reasons. Nevertheless, plaintiff failed to seek permission from this court to add Kebe Studios LLC as a new co-defendant, and therefore Kebe Studios LLC should automatically be dismissed as a co-defendant in this civil action. Also, plaintiff's second amended complaint never mentions Kebe Studios LLC in the factual background section, does not allege one single action of Kebe Studios LLC that could give rise to any of plaintiff's claims, and fails to establish even a slight nexus between Kebe Studios and plaintiff's alleged injuries and damages. Therefore, adding Kebe Studios LLC as a new co-defendant at this litigation stage is absolutely futile. For all the above reasons, plaintiff's addition of Kebe Studios as a co-defendant at the close of discovery and past the deadline for amendments is impermissible, will unduly delay the proceedings, will unduly prejudice Ms. Kebe, who is prepared to proceed with dispositive motions and trial, and constitutes an exercise in futility. Wherefore, Ms. Kebe respectively requests that this honorable court enter an order dismissing with prejudice Kebe Studios LLC and permissibly adding them as a co-defendant. So all of that, all the bullshit that these lawyers threw in this 11-page motion response to Cardi B adding Kebe Studios LLC, the judge said, bah, try again. No, ma'am, we don't care. We're allowing it. Absolutely, Kebe Studios is going to be added. You just said a bunch of mumbo jumbo for no goddamn reason, absolutely no reason. And the judge said, nope, I can see through it. I see all the bullshit. This is nothing but an attempt to take up space on your briefing. You don't have any basis. Any legal arguments are not being made. You're just going around in circles after circles. And the judge read through to that, and the judge said, no, ma'am. He said, no. He said, no. So they had the hearing where they were going to, is this going to be a motion to dismiss and, not allow Kebe Studios to be added? This was a motion to dismiss. It was a motion, they heard the motion to compel, which was they were making Tasha and Cardi B turn in their interrogatories. They both had motion to compels granted in part and denied in part. Motion to amend was granted. Motion to dismiss was denied. So the motion to amend and add Kebe Studios was granted, and the motion to dismiss was denied. Here is the minutes. The court heard oral argument via Zoom. The court denied the motion to dismiss Kebe Studios LLC and granted plaintiff's cross motion to amend her pleadings and add Kebe Studios. If further discovery is needed concerning the LLC, the court will consider a reasonable extension for this limited purpose. The court orders plaintiff to supplement her responsive, and then this is when you get into the motion to compel. Basically, this big paragraph right here is the judge telling Cardi B to turn in her responses to the interrogatories, and also telling Tasha K to turn in her responses to her interrogatories. All right. So after all of this has taken place, all of the back and forth, we are now at the point where Cardi B filed a summary judgment. And like I stated, a summary judgment is filed when one party believes that all of the information that the defendant has added into court and entered as evidence, and everything that they have entered, there's nothing that they can win with. It's like, okay, everything that Tasha K has turned in so far is bullshit, and nothing that she can use right now, she can't win. So, Judge, we just want you to issue and rule on this summary judgment, allow it, have her take the videos down, have her pay me my money, and boom, the case will be over. If the judge had allowed the entire summary judgment, it would have been over, the case would have been over, and there would have been no jury trial. But because the judge ruled on some of the summary judgment and denied in part the other parts and pushed that to a jury to decide, we are now going to a jury trial. We're not going to a jury trial because Tasha K is still got a leg in this. No, we are going to a jury trial. But for those that don't believe it, we will read the summary judgment in full because we have followed the paper trail. We went through all of the documents. We went through the timeline, and we broke down how this entire lawsuit has transpired. All of the events that have taken place, we went through it by the documentation. I didn't go by off of my thoughts or what I think how it's going. We went off of the court documents. So by a show of hands, everyone that has been on the live for the entire hour and 32 minutes, please let me know, do you understand where we are so far? And I have my chat turned on subscriber comment only. So that is why other people cannot comment, because I only have the chat turned on subscriber comment only, because the people that are interested in commenting are those that are allowed to comment, because this is a lot of information to cover, and I was not about to let any trolls or anyone interrupt this explanation, because I've seen all the previous videos. Like I told you when I did the update yesterday, and I let everyone know that the date was pushed out to November, I expected all of the other bloggers, just like they did, to start coming with their videos. All of the ones that stand for Tasha K, all the ones that push her narrative because they feel like she can somehow further their career on YouTube, that they want validation from her. I don't give a damn about Tasha K's validation. I don't give a damn about her giving me no stamp of approval, no green light, no red light, no yellow motherfucking light. I don't give a damn about Tasha. At this point, it's sad that she just will not admit that she lost and that it's over with. But she did try to admit it on Instagram when she said, don't drag me just now. All we got to do is go to court and I got to figure out whether I'm going to have to pay this $75K or more. Y'all allowed her to issue that rinky-dink statement on Instagram. She has yet to do the video that she promised, telling everyone the status of the lawsuit. What she has done is put it out on every one of these bloggers that are in her corner and that peddle her narrative. She has left it up to them to run the race. She's left it up to them to explain her position in this case. At this point, we want the court documents. Anyone can say, oh, they're going to court because the judge thinks that Tasha can win. Absolutely not. The judge has encouraged them to settle. Tasha K's numbers are struggling. Wiley's numbers are struggling. He can't get anywhere. He constantly doing interviews with her to try to boost his channel. How many interviews can you do with Tasha K? I seen a video the other day that she only got 9.8 some thousand views. Are you serious? Tasha K, you 9.8K views on a video? You didn't even break 10K. And it was a couple days had done went by and you still struggling to hit 10K on a video? You are struggling, my dear, but guess what? That's not an issue. Everyone has a rough patch. Everyone on YouTube is going to struggle. YouTube is oversaturated with YouTube bloggers. YouTube is oversaturated with celebrity gossip. How much celebrity gossip can you watch? So at some point, you are going to hit a rough patch. A real bitch will admit it and be like, damn, what can I do to change up my platform? What can I do to spruce up my channel? Not go to war with celebrities and go to war with Cardi B, go to war with me subliminally through other bloggers trying to get my attention. Newsflash, no one's going to interview with you because they're not going to be disloyal to Cardi B. And whoever gets that interview, it's not going to be you. It's going to be whoever he wants to do the interview with. So everyone that heard me say who I was going to be doing this interview with, you can come behind me all you want and say, oh, let's see if we can get him. He's not going to come with you because I've been talking to him way before you even had him in your so-called chat. And he's loyal to Cardi B. He's not going to be having an interview with the ops. He's not going to have an interview with someone that works for Tasha K, that peddles Tasha K's narrative. And you can't afford him anyway. You can't afford to pay the interview fee. So stop, cut it, stop with the false narratives, stop with trying to, steal my interviews because it's not going to work. He's not going to come over there. He's not going to come over there. His first stop will be the Sweet Pea Diaries. And if he does any other videos, it won't be with someone that is an ally of Tasha K. I've already put him down and put him down with the game on who is who in these YouTube streets, period. So stop trying to, go through the back door and think that you're going to get an interview with someone that he's Team Cardi B all day long. He's not going to interview with you. So now we find ourselves to the summary judgment, okay? Like I said, Cardi B, they put forth a summary judgment because they said, Judge, by the looks of it and what we have seen, we know that there's no way that Tasha can win this lawsuit. So here comes Cardi B. This matter is before the court on plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. Having viewed the parties' filings, considered the parties' arguments at the hearing, and reviewed the entire record on this matter, the court hereby grants in part and denies in part plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. So I'm going to go through this summary judgment, and I'm going to explain what the grants in part means and the denies in part means. Okay? And we're also going to cover in the conclusion of this video exactly what the jury trial will consist of. And then you will be able to conclude that there is nothing for Tasha K to win, to, come out a victor. There is nothing that she can win. Right? So let's get to it. We at the home stretch, y'all, okay? We at the home stretch. We at the home stretch. So the factual background, all right, we're not going to go through that because we all know what the background is about this case. So all they do is they list what the background is. They give you a timeline of the videos, when the alleged defamatory statements were made in the videos and all of that. So, that's a lot to go through. I'm not gonna do it. So then it then gets to Cardi B's complaint. Plaintiff filed her complaint on March 21st, 2019, and then it just basically tells you, what her complaints are. That, it's libel and intentional infliction of emotional distress, and she saw punitive damages and attorney's fees. Okay? Plaintiff denies the truth of any statements regarding cocaine use, herpes outbreaks, and prostitution, among the other statements outlined above. Plaintiff also asserts that defendant was aware of the probable falsity of the statements at the time she published them. Thus, the plaintiff asked the court to award damages for defendant's conduct, enjoin defendants from further publishing any other alleged defamatory remarks, and order a retraction of the previously published remarks. All right. So that is what we're not going to rush past this, because this is very important that you guys listen and you understand this part of the video, because this is the narrative where they are twisting these other bloggers and Tasha K. This is where they're trying to confuse the public, where they say, well, the case ain't over because we still going to trial. And the summary judgment, only part of it was granted, but we still going to trial, so we could still win. Well, this part of the summary judgment right here explains and shows you what exactly is going to be considered at the trial, and exactly what is being given to Cardi B for winning her partial summary judgment. Okay? So this paragraph right here is going to let you know what Cardi B is winning with this partial summary judgment. Plaintiff denies the truth of any statements regarding the cocaine and all of that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So with this summary judgment, she is asking that the defamatory remarks, that they stop being allowed to be published by Tasha K, and that all previously published remarks be retracted, i.e., meaning all videos be taken down. Now, here is where we get into defendant Kibi's counterclaims, okay, that were what? Dismissed in this summary judgment. This is Tasha's counterclaims. This has been her argument from the beginning of this lawsuit. This is what she has been arguing. Okay? You follow me? This is her counterclaim. Right. Defendant Kibi alleges that she began receiving threats on her social media accounts in December 2018, including use of derogatory names and references to gang member connections. She claims to have received these threatening messages on social media and calls on her cell phone from people directed to do so by Cardi B. This includes Cardi B's fans and Schemo, who defendant Kibi claims is closely connected to the plaintiff and a member of a violent gang. Defendant Kibi also claims that the plaintiff ranted about her on social media, including Instagram live videos, and responded to fans who also made remarks against defendant Kibi. As a result, Kibi claims that she contacted the FBI Atlanta field office about the alleged threats and that she feared for her safety. She also contends that she experienced an increase in her stress, anxiety, and depression during this time. Defendant Kibi was also experiencing a high-risk pregnancy and states that she was forced to relocate her family. Based on this information, defendant Kibi filed a counterclaim against the plaintiff on May 8, 2019. Kibi's amended counterclaim was then filed again on July 7, 2019. Defendants answered plaintiff's second amended complaint and filed their second amended counterclaims on December 13, 2020. Now here is Tasha K's second amended counterclaim. Okay? It is 1. Assault. 2. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. 3. Punitive damages. 4. Expenses of litigation and attorney's fees. Plaintiff filed her motion for summary judgment on December 30th, 2020. Plaintiff is Cardi B, okay? In which she seeks judgment as a matter of law on her defamation per se claim. Count 1, her demand for injunctive relief, as well as her IIED claim. IIED is intentional infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff also seeks summary judgment as to all of defendant's counterclaims. This motion is now before the court. So, read again. Cardi B also seeks summary judgment as it is to all of defendant's counterclaims. All right? That's Tasha K. That in layman's terms is saying Cardi B is asking that summary judgment be found on her behalf as it pertains to Tasha K's counterclaim, to all of defendants' counterclaims, not just one, not just two, all of her counterclaims. All right? Legal standard. Now, this is what a summary judgment is. Now, I have been telling everyone what a summary judgment is, and they said, oh, you pulled up a Google. You pulled up Google? Girl, you pulled up Google? Oh, it's not Google, not the Google definition. Yes, I pulled up Google so that you would understand and I could give you a definition of what a summary judgment is. But in case you were not listening to my little Google explanation and definition, well, let the court tell you what a legal standard as it pertains to a summary judgment, what that is. Summary judgment is appropriate when there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact, and the movant is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. A party seeking summary judgment has the burden of informing the court of the basis for her motion and identifying the portions of the record that she believes demonstrates the absence of genuine issue of material fact, credibility determinations, the weighing of the evidence, and the drawing of legitimate inferences from the facts are jury functions that cannot be made by the court when considering whether to grant summary judgment. If a movant meets its burden, the party opposing summary judgment must present evidence that shows there is a genuine issue of material fact or that the movant is not entitled to judgment as a matter of law. In determining whether a genuine issue of material fact exists to defeat a motion for summary judgment, the evidence is viewed in the light most favorable to the party opposing the summary judgment, and all justifiable inferences are to be drawn in favor of that opposing party. So basically, if the evidence is merely colorable or is not significantly probative, summary judgment may be granted. Basically, when the record taken as a whole could not lead a rational tier of fact to find for the non-moving party, summary judgment for the moving party is proper. Basically saying Tasha K does not have any more evidence or burden of proof. There's nothing more that she can show that she's entitled to anything from Cardi B. So judge everything that she has shown, every evidence, every interrogatory, it's been all baseless, meritless. It has no validity. So let's just get rid of this lawsuit, rule on the summary judgment, and let's move on to live another day. Okay? That's basically what was being asked with the summary judgment. So the judge basically says, okay, so, they keep going in it. They're talking about the plaintiff's claims. She's basically claiming what Tasha said about her, and, she's seeking damages, injunctive reliefs, blah, 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 blah. It's basically going all through that, all right? And so they start to break down what defamation per se and all of that. And so then they get down into this paragraph. It says, in this case, there is no dispute that defendant Kibi's statements were published and disseminated on her website through video and other forms of media. As such, the second element requiring publication to a third party is satisfied. However, as it pertains to the first and third elements to prove defamation, okay, because there are three elements when trying to prove defamatory or, that defamation has been committed, all right? 1, a false and defamatory statement concerning the plaintiff. 2, an unprivileged communication to a third party, meaning that you had disseminated, the information to a third party. 3, fault by the defendant amounting at least to negligence. And 4, special harm or the accountability of the statement irrespective of special harm. Okay? Those are the elements for defamation. So they go down into this and they're starting to break down, have these elements been reached? In this case, there is no dispute that defendant Kibi's statements were published and disseminated on her website through the video and other forms of media. As such, the second element requiring publication to a third party is satisfied. That's this right here. That third, fault by defendant amounting to at least negligence and unprivileged communication to a third party. That's what they're saying here, that's what they did, okay? Then it goes, okay? However, as such, the second element requiring As such, the second element requiring publication to a third party is satisfied. However, as to the first and third elements, the court finds these to be questions of fact that should be left for the jury's determination. So now here we get into what the jury is going to be considering. Because see, I don't play with you girls, all right? I do not. Now, it took us an hour and 55 minutes to get to the bullshit, okay? Took us an hour and 55 minutes for me to go through all of these documents, break it down piece by piece so everyone can understand what is going on with this lawsuit so that you are not lied to on these other platforms. Okay? You cannot deny court documents. Okay? So this is what they think that I was not going to be able to do. That I was not going to be able to break down all the court documents piece by piece. I was not going to be able to show you the timeline of events through the court documents because it's so much paperwork. It's so much to cover. But I was determined to get through it because I know that the question on everyone's mind is, well, what exactly are they going to go to trial for? What is the jury going to be considering? If Tasha K, if her counterclaim is thrown out and Cardi B's summary judgment was partially approved and some of it not, well, what actually is happening here? And I know that a lot of people do not understand that. They don't know what is actually happening. So they just take the word for whoever sounds like they know what they're talking about, or whoever makes it sound like it's better, or whoever makes it sound like it's in favor of Tasha K, if they like Tasha K and they're a wino. So they're going to go with whatever those people say because it sounds good. Well, here on my channel, I'm going to give you the truth and the facts as it pertains to the goddamn court documents, okay? And I didn't care whether it took me 3 hours. I was determined to give you the truth, all right? So here it is. We are at the home stretch. And I'm going to try to get my face out of this, get my thing out of this, so you guys could just see the paperwork, all right? So here we are. We are now at what the jury is going to be, what is being left for the jury's determination. Now, can you guys see that? I'm trying to blow it up. Okay. I'm trying to blow it up. Can we see that? Does that look good? All right. So I blew it up so that you guys can read it for yourself. And then the people on the other channels, they can read it. Love, absolutely. I agree with this comment. when the judge speaks about Cardi, he basically gives the impression that what Tasha K basically said about Cardi B, it's public perception because of her public persona and her public profile, that she is a rapper that uses her body and sexual undertones in her music and videos, and that she basically deserved the comments that Tasha K imposed upon her. So I do agree with that. I agree that the judge, he does have a nasty tone when it comes to Cardi B. All right, so we get ready to get into it now. Now, here is what they're not telling you, okay? Oh, yeah, Tasha's going before a jury, but they're not telling you what the jury is going to actually be deliberating, okay? However, as to the first and third elements, the court finds these to be questions that should be left to the jury's determination. So the first element of defamation is a false and defamatory statement concerning the plaintiff. Fault by the third element, fault by the defendant amounting at least to negligence. So basically, they're saying the false and defamatory statement, was it a false and defamatory statement? We're going to leave that up to a jury to determine, and we're going to put forth evidence. We're going to put forth the videos. We're going to put forth the Instagram posts. We're going to put forth the DMs. We're going to put forth evidence that will support that these statements were defamatory. We're going to show Cardi B's medical records, that she does not have HPV and herpes. And we're going to put all of this before the jury. We're going to put that video before the jury. Was that Cardi B in the video putting the beer bottle up her private? Were those statements false and defamatory? Well, we're going to leave it up to the jury to decide that. Okay? The judge did not feel that the summary judgment encompassed those two elements. He ruled on everything else and approved it through the summary judgment. But the false and defamatory statements and that Tasha K was at fault amounting at least to negligence, that is what the jury will be deliberating on. Okay? Now let's continue. Sorry, guys, I put it out by accident. Now let's continue. Okay? I gotta push it out like this so I can see real quick. All right. Here we go. Here it goes again. In this case, there is no dispute. Now, this is the court. This is the judge speaking. All right? In this case, there is no dispute that defendant Kibi's statements were published and disseminated on her website through video and other forms of media. As such, the second element requiring publication to a third party is satisfied. However, as to the first and third elements, the court finds these to be questions of fact that should be left to the jury's determination. There is a genuine dispute of material fact about whether all the statements that defendant Kibi made were in fact false and defamatory. Although the plaintiff vehemently denies the information contained in the statements, defendant Kibi has represented to the court through video evidence that the plaintiff has at least admitted to being a prostitute and has used and as to her use of drugs. For example, in a video produced in opposition to plaintiff's motion for summary judgment, it appears that the plaintiff is discussing engaging in sexual acts for money. In that same video, plaintiff discusses her use of drugs and about having to pop pills sometimes when necessary. as to defendant Kibi's other assertions, such as claiming that defendant has herpes, Kibi allegedly saw a video that the plaintiff posted online in which the plaintiff had visible code source. Assuming, of course, that Kibi's testimony is admissible, it is at least possible that a reasonable jury might believe that these alleged defamatory statements made by defendant Kibi are true. As for the third element, the level of fault that must be established depends on whether the plaintiff is an all-purpose or limited-purpose public figure. Okay, and so then it starts to talk about, defamatory a ruling with the Supreme Court held that a public official could not recover damages for defamatory statements regarding his or her official conduct unless it was proven that the statement was made with actual malice. The Supreme Court required this heightened standard of proof as opposed to negligence to guarantee the constitutional protections of free speech and free press. So basically what they're saying here is that the law or whatever, the Supreme Court, they're stating that in order to recover damages for defamatory statements, you have to prove that the person when they made these statements, that they made them with intentional malice. Oh, thank you, Alice. Thank you so much. So what they are stating that they're going to do, they're going to put that before a jury to decide. Were these statements made with actual malice? The information and the proof that they're going to use as evidence is going to be laid out for the jury to decide on those other elements. Okay? So we're just going to keep on going. All right, so they're just basically talking about laws and cases that were put before the Supreme Court previously, and as it pertains to summary judgment and defamation and all this. So then we get down to, in this case, plaintiff argues that it does not matter whether the plaintiff is a limited or all-purpose public figure because she is able to establish that defendant Kibi acted with actual malice. The court agrees that the appropriate standard is actual malice because the plaintiff has reached a level of fame and notoriety that has thrust her into the public eye. As such, to succeed on her claims, plaintiff must demonstrate that defendant Kibi published the statements knowing that they were false or with reckless disregard as to their truth or falsity. Now, this is interesting that this is what the jury would be deliberating. Did Kibi act with actual malice? And did she know that the statements were false when she published them? Well, when we read in Kibi's answers, she admitted that she knew, I know the shit was fake, but if you keep sending me fake shit, I'm going to keep publishing it. I knew the shit was fake. She also admitted in a previous deposition that she wanted to get ahead of the story before the Jones video came out, which would have negated some of these accusations. She wanted to get ahead of it. So Tasha has already put her foot in her mouth in her depositions. So these are the things that will be laid out in front of the jury. All right. So let's keep on going. The question of whether defendant Kibi acted with actual malice, namely whether she published the statements with obvious reasons to doubt the veracity of the informant or the accuracy of her reports, represents several genuine disputes of material fact. For example, there is a question of fact about whether Jones was a reliable source for defendant Kibi's statements about plaintiff being a prostitute and a drug user. Although Jones claims that she knew the plaintiff well and was able to attest to the information she provided to Kibi, whether it was reasonable for Kibi to rely on those representations is a matter for the jury to resolve. So this is another matter that the jury is going to resolve. Was it sufficient enough for Tasha to just take the word of Jones that the information that Jones was given was reliable? To Cardi B being a prostitute and a drug user, all you had was the word of Jones and a so-called fake profile? Well, the judge said, I'm not going to rule on that. I'm going to have a jury look at that and determine, was that a reasonable, was that reasonable enough for Tasha K to go ahead and accept the word of someone she barely knew and go ahead and publish videos? So it seems to me that this is not going to be in Tasha K's defense or Tasha K's favor. It's going to be in Tasha K's, not her favor. It's going to be not so good for Tasha K, because the jury is going to be like, wow, you went on and published videos anyway, knowing that you didn't know whether this was true or not, and all you had was a fake profile. Oh, okay. So here's another, what the jury is going to be deliberating over. Okay, let's keep on going. There are also some facts suggesting that defendant Kibi may have posted and published statements without knowing whether the information was true. In the Lovely T recorded call, defendant Kibi states, here's my thing. All of these strippers are lying, referring to Jones. Kibi also said on that same call, defendant Kibi stated that Jones told some truths and she didn't tell all truths. Thus, a reasonable jury could determine that defendant Kibi acted with actual malice when she published her statements. So I'm telling you, as we read through this, what the jury is being presented with is whether or not Tasha K acted with malice, and the evidence that in these calls and these videos, Tasha is admitting. So the judge is saying, well, the jury can reasonably determine that defendant Kibi acted with actual malice when she published her statements. So how is it, you other YouTube bloggers, that Tasha K, her lawyers got Cardi B's lawyers scared, and Tasha K know that she might be able to win this, and Cardi B's team knows it, so that's why they're trying to push it off? How the judge is basically saying he put it forth to a jury because a reasonable jury could determine that defendant Kibi acted with actual malice when she published her statements. But because a jury could also conclude that defendant Kibi's sources were reliable, the court finds that granting summary judgment on these defamation claims would be improper, and that the more appropriate course of action would be to allow the jury to resolve these issues at trial. So what the judge is saying, hey, they could really say that Tasha K, she acted with malice. Or they could also say that maybe it wasn't. So because it's a toss-up, we're going to let the jury decide. So I don't see where any of this is in Tasha K's favor. They say after the fact, like, oh, well, they show you an outline where she acted out of malice, But then they come back and say, but it could also be determined that maybe it wasn't malice, because it's always a catch-22. There could be one person that says, well, it was. There could be some that say it wasn't. But when they look at the videos and they see that she did it time and time again, and even recently that she said, I knew the shit was fake, but I published it anyway. Everybody knows where I live. Ain't a motherfucker came to my house yet, because she continues to put her foot in her mouth every time she goes live about Cardi B. She buries herself, and she's her own downfall. She's going to be the reason that she loses. So let's keep on going. Because I don't understand where these people come from. You know, they claim that they read the court documents, but still and yet, they, you know, they're telling you what they think. It's like, no, let's take our time and let's go through the documents and find out what will the jury be deliberating over. Because the documents are going to tell you. The documents are going to tell you. The Sweet Pea Diary. So regarding the herpes allegation, she has already proven her case. Exactly. Cardi B has already taken a HPV and herpes test. I am going to find those documents if they're not sealed. I do have them on my previous videos that I might have on members only right now. So I'm going to go through and I will find it, because I already did a video previously and I have the actual documents that show Cardi B took a test at UCLA and the test was negative. That shows that she does not have herpes and she does not have HPV. So there's no way that she can win on that, because Cardi B already did take a test and it was independent. It was not her own physician. It was through UCLA. So it was an independent provider, and it was an independent physician, an independent laboratory, whatever you want to say. Independent, okay? Independent. It was independent. All right. So now let's keep it moving. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff also sues defendants for intentional infliction of emotional distress. A claim for IIED has 4 elements: intentional or reckless conduct, which is extreme and outrageous, and cause the emotional distress, which is severe. Plaintiff has only sought summary judgment on the first 2 elements of this claim, which is intentional or reckless conduct, and she said it was extreme and outrageous. She didn't say it caused emotional distress, and she didn't say it was severe. She only saw summary judgment on the first 2 elements. A reasonable jury could find that the plaintiff was provided sufficient evidence to prove that defendant Kibi acted intentionally or recklessly when publishing the statements in her videos. For example, the plaintiff pointed to a video of defendant Kibi in which she stated that she had a personal vendetta against the plaintiff. And then so they point to this too, Cardi video number 45, in which she says that. This testimony could thus be used to suggest that Kibi had a motive to impugn plaintiff's character and that she intentionally made these crude statements to harm the plaintiff. Additionally, from an objective perspective, the statements that the defendant Kibi made could be considered extreme and outrageous conduct. Georgia courts have held that the conduct must be so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency and to be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. Despite this stringent standard, the court finds that the conduct at issue might support a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and that it is possible for a jury to conclude that the conduct rises to the requisite level. However, a jury could also find otherwise and may conclude that the conduct at issue is not extreme when fully considering the circumstances. Now, the conduct that can be characterized as merely vulgar, tasteless, rude, or insulting generally will not support a claim for IIED. Because of this reasonable possibility, the court finds it more appropriate to deny the motion to this claim. So this is what was denied. The IIED was denied. It was already denied by the judge. A genuine dispute of material fact exists, and because the plaintiff is not moving for summary judgment on the second two elements, the jury will nonetheless be tasked with determining causation and whether severe emotional distress resulted. As such, all issues should be left for the jury's determination. So, because of this reasonable possibility, the court finds it more appropriate to deny the motion to this claim. So, part of this summary judgment that was denied was the IIED. That's going to be put before a jury for determination. However, it has nothing to do with Tasha K, money, winning. This is still Cardi B. Whether or not you inflicted distress upon Cardi B. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? None of this has anything to do with Tasha K. None of this is saying, did Cardi B cause any harm to Tasha K? What the jury will be deliberating over and what the jury will be reviewing, whether or not Tasha K acted out of malice, vulgar, tasteless, rude, or insulting acts that are not acceptable in a civilized community. None of this has anything to do with a jury determining that Cardi B is going to lose at the hand of Tasha K. This is all the direct opposite. So the narrative, once again, that Tasha K can somehow win with the jury, there's nothing to win. The jury is going to be deliberating whether or not Tasha acted out of malice. Period. Right? Let's keep going. Invasion of privacy. Plaintiff has not moved for summary judgment on her invasion of privacy. So, nor have the defendants. As such, it will be determined by a jury at trial. So the jury is going to determine, was there an invasion of privacy? Cardi B didn't ask for any of this in her summary judgment. So because this is part of the element for suing for defamation, it has to be deliberated over. So they're putting it for a jury to decide. And this is on behalf of Cardi B, not Tasha K, because Tasha K did not have videos made about her. She made videos about Cardi B. So that would mean that the invasion of privacy was done to Cardi B. Tasha K did not sue Cardi B. Remember, the complaint is not on Cardi B. The complaint is on Tasha K. Tasha K issued a counterclaim for assault and defamation and all of that, which we will see in this summary judgment that was thrown out. So there is nothing left for Tasha K. I don't see where the idiots in the back got their narrative or their court documents. Can anyone let me know? Where did the people in the back and the other bloggers, where did they get their court documents? Because they sure enough didn't get them from the court website. Punitive damages and attorney's fees. Because the court has denied summary judgment on plaintiff's substantive claims, the punitive damages and attorney's fees claims will also remain in the case for the jury's determination. In considering plaintiff's other claims, a reasonable jury could certainly determine that the plaintiff is entitled to receive punitive damages and attorney's fees. So again, the jury is going to decide the punitive damages and attorney's fees that Cardi B will be entitled to. Now, we get down into Tasha K's counterclaims and what the court said about that. Assault. The court grants plaintiffs, The court grants plaintiff's motion for summary judgment as to defendant Kibi's assault counterclaim. Even viewed in the light most favorable to the defendant, the evidence is insufficient to support her claim. The judge said even if he tried to look in your favor, Tasha K, you didn't give him any evidence to support your claim. Therefore, he had no choice but to rule in favor for Cardi B in the summary judgment as it pertains to the assault counterclaim. Under Georgia common law, an assault occurs where all apparent circumstances reasonably viewed are such as to lead a person reasonably to apprehend a violent injury from the unlawful act of another. And as is always required in a tort action, the claimant must prove that the alleged wrongdoer in fact caused the harm to occur. In this case, however, Kibi has failed to do so. Because, girl, when you get assaulted, you have to be able to prove that somebody touched you. So the documents state, first, defendant Kibi has failed to produce any evidence that plaintiff herself threatened Kibi or made her believe that she was going to harm her. Instead, Kibi has only made allegations. But isn't that what Tasha always does? All she does is make allegations. Kibi has only made allegations that others who may be associated with plaintiff made these threats. And while an individual certainly can be held liable for the tortious actions of another, defendant Kibi has failed to demonstrate here that the threats she alleges occurred were directed by the plaintiff or committed by an agent acting on the plaintiff's behalf. Explaining that a person may be civilly liable for injury done to another if they can procure the injurious act to be done. So meaning you have to prove that it actually happened in order for them to be liable. There is no material evidence linking the plaintiff to the threats made from the Instagram accounts other than a reference to the plaintiff's or variations of her well-known name of Cardi B. Further, these accounts are inaccessible as defendant Kibi's Instagram page that received them has been deleted and the messages were not saved. It's mighty funny how you're stating that you don't have the access to this Instagram account, but your Instagram account has always been the same. Unwind with Tasha K. Where is this Instagram account? Girl, it's the same Instagram account that you have. There are none. You have none. You have no proof. There is no material evidence linking the plaintiff to the threats made from the Instagram account. Moreover, in messages between plaintiff and Schemo, plaintiff did not direct Schemo to take specific violent action against defendant Kibi. Any argument that she did is mere speculation, unsupported by any evidence. Thus, because defendant Kibi has failed to establish through material evidence that the plaintiff would be the cause of any alleged assault, the claim cannot survive. Now, for intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is on Tasha's behalf. You know, she was claiming that she too, they inflicted emotional distress upon her. To survive summary judgment on an IIED claim, a plaintiff must show all four elements: intentional or reckless conduct, which is extreme and outrageous, cause emotional distress, which is severe. While physical impact is not a required element, in its absence, the party seeking to assert the IIED claim must also show that the conduct in question was directed at her. Defendant Kibi has failed to provide material evidence demonstrating that the plaintiff's actions caused defendant Kibi extreme emotional distress. Defendant Kibi points to threats and intimidation from Cardi B fans as the main source of her emotional distress. Yet there is no evidence that these actions were committed by the plaintiff or otherwise directed by her, as discussed above. Thus, causation has not been established. So Tasha K wanted the court to believe that Cardi B fans, that the Barty gang was the main source of her emotional distress. That Cardi B ordered her fans to go and attack Tasha K. Well, isn't that the same thing that Tasha K did to the Sweet Pea Diaries on her backup channel, the Wino Gang podcast, where she goes crazy and berserk? She's a wild maniac on that backup channel, and she makes all kinds of accusations. She sends threats. She sends her minions to everyone's channel that does not agree with her, that reports that she's losing. Isn't that what Tasha K did? She encouraged her subscribers to stalk and harass the Sweet Pea Diaries. But you want a jury and a judge to issue a ruling on your behalf that Cardi B did that to you? It is the contradiction and the hypocrite action for me. You are a hypocrite. Moving right along. The court acknowledges that defendant Kibi may have been in a particularly precarious situation because of her high-risk pregnancy that the plaintiff and others knew about. Yet, without proof that these alleged threats and comments were attributable to the plaintiff, defendant Kibi has failed to establish causation, and the court must dismiss the counterclaim as a matter of law. Accordingly, the court grants plaintiff's motion as to defendant Kibi's claim for IIED. Conclusion. For the ongoing reasons, plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment is granted as to defendant Kibi's assault and IIED claims. Consequently, defendant Kibi's punitive damages and attorney fees claims are also dismissed. Additionally, plaintiff's motion for summary judgment is denied as to plaintiff's claims. And the ones that were denied, we've read those already. And some of those Cardi B didn't even ask for summary judgment on. And so that means because those motions were denied in this summary judgment, they will be put forth to the jury to deliberate. And so when the jury deliberates, what the jury is going to do, they're going to look at videos. They're going to look at Tasha K blaring out all types of nasty, you hurt bitch, she's a stripper bitch. The jury is going to get to see all of that. The jury's going to get to see every drunken stupor, every drunken assault against Cardi B. Anytime you felt like going live on your main channel, your backup channel, Instagram Live, wherever you thought you were hiding, Barty Gang took screenshots and they sent it to the attorney. So all of that will be entered into evidence, and the jury will get to see Tasha K live and in action. They will get to see Tasha K in rare form. She's a stripper bitch. Herpes B, HPV, herpes B. I knew the videos were fake, but I posted them anyway. You keep motherfucking sending me videos, and I'm gonna post them up. I knew the shit was fake. I'm trying to go motherfucking viral. Everybody has my address in Lawrenceville, and ain't a motherfucker came yet. All of those, everything that you said, the jury will be going over it, and that is what they're going to use to determine how much stress you cause Cardi B, how much it's worth. So there is no more that we can say to prove that Tasha K, she is done. She's done. She lost. She's over. It's over. There's nothing else. Right? I'm ready to rule on this shit. We don't need a jury. Exactly. So I am so glad that all of you, it's 61 of you still here. Like, share, subscribe, share this video. And I'm going to let you guys know the best way to get this truth out is to share this video. Share this video. Share it on your social medias, on your Instagram. Share it everywhere, because this is what everyone is asking. They are asking this question. Well, what is it that the jury is going to decide and deliberate over? What is it that the judge ruled on? What is the summary judgment and what does it mean? All of those questions were answered in this video, 2 hours and 36 minutes. We started 2 hours and 36 minutes ago, and we went from start to finish. I took you from the beginning to where we currently are. And like I said, I'm going to be sitting in that front row on November the 8th. Hey, girl. Hey, Tasha Boo. What's up, girl? Hey, Tasha. Guess what, Tasha? I got the interrogatories. I got your interrogatories. I'm going to be waving them interrogatories. Here you go. I got the interrogatories, girl. I'm going to be sitting right up in the front. Hey, everybody. What's up? What's up, Cardi? What's up, Tasha? I'm going to be right in the front, because I am determined to see this thing through. Hey, hype. I am determined to see this case through. Okay? So, like, share, subscribe. Do not believe the narrative that Cardi B and her attorneys are scared. Scared of what? There is nothing to be scared of. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm aware of. Barty. There is nothing for her and her attorneys to be afraid of. I think that it is poor taste for the winos and anyone that is in support of Tasha K and the winos to even insinuate that Cardi B should try to ask for a Zoom hearing while she's pregnant. Oh, she's just pregnant. She can ask for Zoom if she really wanted to be there. No, she wants to enjoy her pregnancy. She's in the home stretch, the last few months of her pregnancy. She want to have her baby. September 13th to November 8th is not even a long time. That's not even a month. She's only asking for a couple weeks. So she's saying, I'm going to have a baby, and I'm going to be right there for the court by November 8th. Y'all acting like she asked for it to be pushed out for 2 and 3 months. September 13th to November the 8th is only a few weeks, a couple of weeks. It is not even a month. September 13th to November the 8th. It's not even a month. It's not even 30 days. So she's not even giving herself maternity leave. If she's saying, usually after you have a baby, it is 6 to 8 weeks before you go back to work. So all of this that she's scared and she's afraid, she is not. She just wants to go have her baby, and then she'll see you when she's done. She ain't even asking for 6 to 8 weeks after labor. I would have been asking for 6 to 8 weeks because I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. I'm Cardi B. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm not in a rush. I told you to leave me the F alone. I told you to stop making videos about me. It is not my fault that you're in a rush to get this over with because you're struggling. Your numbers are in the pits. Your channel is in a desperate need of life support. Your channel is in desperate need of rejuvenation. Your channel is in desperate need of something to revitalize and rejuvenate it. And sorry, but Cardi B isn't doing it anymore. You are the one that asked for this to be done to you. Why are you in such a rush? Because we all know that the videos are going to have to come down, and that's going to send your channel further into the pits. You are already struggling to get 100K views. Miss Queen of YouTube, Miss Mother Tasha K, Miss Mother effing Tasha K, the one that has all of these smaller bloggers, all of their panties in a bunch and running up behind you, eager to report the case the way you want them to report it. Finally, someone with common sense. Finally, someone that's telling it the way it's supposed to be told. No, bitch. Finally, someone that will kiss your ass and tell the story the way you want it to be told. Period. End of story. You are struggling. Your channel is in the depths of despair. We are sorry that Cardi B cannot give you what you need anymore because no one is buying into the Cardi B narrative anymore. No one's buying into it. What you're selling, Tasha K, we ain't buying it. The people are not buying it. They are sick of your rundown interviews with people that just come out of nowhere. Some of these people I don't even know. Who is this? They come out of nowhere. So at this point, you are in a rush to get this over with. You're in a rush. Cardi B is not in a rush. She has nowhere to be but to deliver her child and to be with her family. You have trying to get back to, oh my God, I'm trying to get my numbers. Girl, pushing to 1 million subscribers. You can get 1 million subscribers with no goddamn views. How you look sitting over there with 1 million subscribers, but you can't even break 10K. You can't even break 10K in a live. You can't even break 10K after a video 2 days later. You still struggling to get 10 and 11K views. Not Tasha K. Not Tasha motherfucking K. Ooh. Messy, messy, messy. Going after side pieces of Raphael Sadiq. Who the hell gives a damn? Girl, the cobwebs. The cobwebs that must be all up in that dussy. Who cares about a Raphael Sadiq side piece? My. Did we ever think we would see today? My. That Tasha K is in the pits. Her channel is in the pits. My. You have almost 1 million subscribers you sitting over there with and can't even break 100K views after 2 days. It takes you a week or 2 weeks to get to 200K, 100K. You should be at 100K once your live is over. You have almost 1 million subscribers. Where are your people? Where are your people? But I keep telling you guys, it is not about the subscribers. It's about the views. So when those videos have to come down and your analytics take even further and your channel just plummets to the ground, you're going to wish that they took your channel from you because you're going to be embarrassed. The embarrassment that's going to come with that, ooh, I want to be a fly on the wall. Ah, shit! Ah! My channel! Oh my God, my numbers! Ah, shit! She gonna be screaming at the top of her lungs, just watching those analytics, those numbers just plummet when all of those videos have to be removed. Ah! Shit! What are we gonna do? Who are we gonna interview? Who are we gonna interview? Oh my God! Oh my God! Call Michelle Obama. Shit! Call Barack Obama. Oh shit! Can we get on Fox Soul? Can we get on Fox Soul? See if Fox Soul will take us. See if Fox Soul will take us. Oh no, Tasha. Oh no, you called it flop soul. Oh no, shoot. Oh no, Tasha. You called it flop soul. Let's tell him I'm sorry. See if flop soul, I mean Fox Soul. See if they'll take us. Child. They said back to Applebee's you go. Honey, I hate to be a fly on the wall when that goddamn channel goes to pits, when they start taking all them goddamn videos. Child, Tasha K gonna have a heart attack. She gonna fall out. That right, with what? And didn't I tell you? You see Wiley, you see Sean had Wiley's lover, ex-lover or whatever, and didn't he confirm that Badissi was shitty? I told y'all that. I told you that Badissi was shitty. Pew! 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 I told you. But that's it, guys. I broke it down. I gave you all of the elements, basically what is happening, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. And that is victory for Cardi B. There cannot be any other outcome. There is nothing for Tasha K to come back from. There is nothing for Tasha K to win. There is nothing for Tasha K but a $75,000 payment to Cardi B plus some, and the withdrawal and takedown of the defamatory statements, videos, and comments. Period. End of story. All right? So you guys be sure to like, share, subscribe. That's all I got. Until next time, if there is not any other update, if there's nothing else that happens with this case, I will not be reporting anymore on this until we are front row center on November 8th. I'll be reporting live from the hotel room. I'll be reporting live after the court hearing that day. I'll be in the hotel room going live, letting y'all know exactly what happened. because I will guarantee you I am taking my vacation and I'm going to be front row center. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed night. Y'all don't go to bed now. We done talk about Tasha K and her crazy ass. She lost. Shit! Give me them goddamn interrogatories. Maybe they'll let me fill them out again, goddamn it. Give me the goddamn interrogatories. Maybe I can fill them out and correct them. Maybe I can get them right this time, the motherfucker. I can't stand that goddamn Cardi B. She taking all my motherfucking money, her and that goddamn baby. They buying Birkin bags, bitch. Fuck them goddamn Birkin bags. Fuck them. I love you guys. Bye.